Hi, today we're continuing with Pascal's triangle, except for now we're going to work with negative in the middle of the binomial. So here's Pascal's triangle. If you forget what that is, you can watch the video yesterday to learn how to make this, if you forget. The only thing with negatives, it's a little bit trickier because all of a sudden we have negatives in it, and negatives just make everything harder. So there is a pattern that you can remember, and I'll teach you why this is a pattern in just a second. But when there's a pattern with the negatives, we're always going to start with plus, and then it goes minus, plus, minus. So for instance, if we were multiplying a squared, it would be plus 1 minus 2 plus 1. Why that happens is because when you have a negative number, a negative times a negative is a positive. So if I had negative 3 squared, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Whereas if I had negative 3 cubed, then I have negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. We just said this is positive 9 times negative 3. Now it's negative again. So when you have an odd exponent and a negative, it's negative. And we have an even exponent multiplying a negative, it's positive. So that's why the pattern flips. So if we're starting with cubed, we're going to go to our triangle and we go to the line that has the exponent as the second digit. And so we know that our polynomial is going to be like this, 1, 3, 3, 1. Like I just taught you, there's a pattern. So this 1 is always going to be positive. And then it'll be a negative 3 here, a positive 3 here, and a negative 1 here. Now we just go like normal. So we have, what do we have? We start with our first term and put it to the same exponent that we started with. And we have our third term and put it, not to the same one, to 0, and that cancels. Then we go down an exponent for the first term and up for the second term. If you're wondering why I'm not putting this negative here on the 3, even though it is negative 3 up here, it's because I already figured out the pattern. On this next one, I'll show you why it's negative and positive when I'm doing the math, but for this one, I showed you the pattern. That's how it's going to be every time. So then we have, oops, what am I doing? Go to the next one. 3, and then we have to go down an exponent and up an exponent for the second term, and then down an exponent for the first term, and up a second exponent for the second term. This is 1, so we cross it out. Now we come down here. We can not write the 1 because that's implied. 3 times 3 is 9. We need to leave that negative there. 3 squared is 9 times 3 is 27. This one's positive. And again, that 3 had a positive exponent with it, or an even exponent with it, so it makes sense that it would be positive. And then 3 cubed is 27 times 1 is just 27, and we keep that negative. All right, for this one, x minus 2 to the 5th. This time I'm going to keep the negative with the 2 and then show you why each one becomes negative. So if we do x minus 2 to the 5th, we need to go to the row with 5 as the second digit. So we know our coefficients are going to start like this. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. First term goes to the exponent that we started with. Second term goes to 0. And I'm not going to write the signs this time until later. Go down an exponent for the first term, up 1 for the second term, down for the first, up for the second, down for the first, up for the second, I decided to put the pluses because I'm getting confused, but I'll show you why they changed to negatives in a second. So x to the 0, that's 1, we can cross that out. Okay, 1 x to the 5th, that just stays the same. Plus 5x to the 4th times negative 2 to the 1st. Negative 2 to the 1st is just negative 2. Negative 2 times 5 is minus 10x to the 4th. See how we're already following that pattern? Don't know why I wrote that. Negative 2 to the 2nd is negative 2 times negative 2, which becomes positive 4. So 4 times 10 is 40, x to the cubed, and it's positive. Negative 2 cubed is negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4, times negative 2, which is negative 8. Negative 8 times 10 is negative 80, x squared. Negative 2 to the 4th, that's negative 8 times 2, which is just positive 6, or negative 8 times negative 2, which is positive 16. 16 times 5 is 80. X to the 1st is just x. Then negative 2 to the 5th is 16 times negative 2, which is negative 32. So you see how we followed that pattern by actually multiplying it out. So you can, if you don't understand the pattern and you want to just multiply it out, that's totally fine. If you just were like, I get it, I just want to write the pattern every time, that's fine too. So there's going to be a homework assignment with this, just practicing with just negatives today. And then tomorrow we're going to do a ton of practice with positive and negative so you get better with the hang of it.